Where do things stand with you and Jim right now?
It makes me sad that after 5 years of a loving marriage, with our ups and downs, that we could be in a place that makes me sad.
This is Intimate Knowledge. It's a show about sex.
Shh. Intimate Knowledge is the podcast. Before we dig into that, I just need to know, how'd the three of you get linked up? Because this is not three people I knew each other. Did we know each other?
That's a really good question. No. This was meant to be. This was the trio that was
serendipitous.
sort of designed, right?
Yeah.
So how did that come together?
I've been working on the show for quite a long time, and then we were looking for the right team, and we went through long lists of people, and we all just hit it off, and I think we've had organic conversations that should have been recording since our very first meeting.
That's right.
Well, the ones that have been recorded have been pretty wild. I did not expect to see some headlines already with like Meghan King Edmonds and circumcision.
Yeah,
That is a little strange.
I mean, yeah, it does when you put it that way.
But it seems like you've just hit the ground running with this thing. Talk to me about that name, Intimate Knowledge, and what it means and what the goals are for this group.
Yeah, sure.
Well, title is so important, and originally we were going to have the word sex in the title, and that seemed a little bit too in your face for me. So we wanted to bring to life this dialogue about intimacy, which covers so many different things, and it's a conversation that needs to happen amongst women, and it's not a show just for women. It's a show for everybody, but unpacking everything from romance to love, sex, connection, heartache, heartbreak.
Basically to own who we are, who we are as women, and to build ourselves up and create more confidence within ourselves and our listeners.
It's also a conversation and content that my mom could listen to, and I would listen to it with her with no shame. So this isn't about an X-rated conversation. This is opening up the dialogue in an area of conversation that needs
I
to
think
happen.
I would listen with my mom with a little shame.
Oh, you would?
I'm like, yes.
You know what? I have been going through a tumultuous time in my personal life. I found out yesterday that my ex is allegedly having an affair, seeing somebody. Let me back up a little bit. We had just gotten married and trying to have fun, and he wanted to have a threesome. We decided to have a threesome, a consensual adult decision with a friend of mine. I felt very comfortable with her. So they are in Cabo right now. This girl, who I thought was my friend, who I cast aside my uncomfortability with threesome because I was fun and I wanted to do things for my husband. And then
Such
this
a
girl,
betrayal.
Do you think they've been having an
betrayed me.
affair the whole time? For years?
I don't know. I think they've probably had sex more than one time. I know.
Sorry.
It doesn't.
Such a betrayal.
It sucks, and that's like.
cringing.
I want to dial in on you for a second, Meghan, because your life is different from, we were just chatting about 5 years ago, we did our first interview, my first interview with ET,
and mine.
and yours. Life's different from 5 years ago. Life's
time.
different from 3 months ago. How are you doing?
I'm good. I feel happy about where my life is going in the future and what the future holds. So I'm just really like looking at that silver lining and trying to be healthy about it and focus on my kids.
We've all been reading and keeping up with, and you've been so open about everything you're going through. Where do things stand with you and Jim right now? What is the status? How do you define that relationship?
I think it could be better. It makes me sad that after 5 years of a loving marriage, with our ups and downs, that we could be in a place that makes me sad. But I'm hopeful for I don't know, better communication in the future. Yeah, we'll just keep it like that.
It sounds like the podcast records here in LA, where iHeart's based. Are you living in LA now?
Well, I have a place in LA because of my son is getting treatment here, therapy in LA for his brain trauma that he has. But I'm not living here, but I'm not living here.
How is co-parenting working?
Well, so I've had the kids with me. My son is in therapy here for 3 weeks. It's an intensive therapy, and so the kids have been with me every day for the 3 weeks. So co-parenting could improve.
So everything's kind of it's working for it needs to, but it could get better. Okay. You're like, sure, I'll take that phrase. Go for it. Good.
That's right. The ebbs and flows of a working divorce. It's probably the most important and most challenging part. And, you know, there's good seasons and challenging seasons, and you learn and, you know, strive to take the high road and raise your children together and, you know, deal with all of the uncertainties that go along with it.
How do you have those conversations with the kids? I mean, your boys are so little, but like, how aware is Aspen of what's happening?
She's pretty aware. It's funny, she understands already that there's mommy's house and daddy's house, and she'll talk about it. And somebody, it was a babysitter, asked me if I was married, and Aspen, who just turned 3 in November, said, no, mommy's not married. So stuff like that, it's so interesting. Somebody got married in a Disney movie. I think that's how she knows what it is, and she understood that mommy wasn't married. So they're just little balls of energy. Like, they absorb whatever is around them, and Jim was just around for a few days, and they were very irritable children, but they also had to see their mom and dad interact, and that is not a place where that makes me feel good, and so I saged my whole house afterward.
We can't hide anything from our children. Divorce and separation is for everyone, not just the couple. It's your family, it's your close friends, it's your, you know, immediate and extended family and the children. I mean, everybody goes through the breakup. And so I think that's a really important lesson for everybody. Everybody needs to adjust.
Yeah.
You know, friends and family as well. Big change.
Have you been able to lean on her through all this, and have you been able to impart some wisdom?
Well, I hope so, but you know, it's a process. Mine happened a little bit longer ago, right? So I'm coming out on the other side now and almost divorced, but what a process. And, you know, I have such great respect for, you know, your willingness to have open conversations, because I don't know that I could have done it a year ago. You know, it takes time to heal and to understand, and you have to meet yourself with compassion. That's one of the things I love about this show, is that we have an opportunity to educate women, and it's not that our way is the right way, but we're just having a conversation because so many people around the world are going through similar things. And, you know,
different circumstances, though. You know, every circumstance is different. So, yeah, you can relate to one another, but ultimately, you only know what's best for yourself. That's right.
I can handle a baby and women who act like one.
Meghan, you are used to being so open and honest because you shared your life for years on reality TV. Would you ever go back and do that again?
Yeah, I would. I loved it. I had a great experience.
Because you know the fans want to see Detective Meghan King Edmonds back on TV.
That would be great. I truly would love it. I had a great experience on the Housewives. I mean, it's not something I'm dying to do, but I definitely wouldn't say no. I have a really thick skin too, I think, and so for people to come at me with insults and like, it doesn't bother me as much. I just am who I am. Like, take it or leave it. I don't care really what you have to say. I'm not trying to hurt anybody in the process, but yeah, I'd totally do it again.
And Brooke, when I was sitting here thinking, I was like, I wonder if she's ever been offered Housewives or anyone's approached her about that, because you seem like you might be built for it.
It's for real.
Right?
Let's go. Let's do it together.
I know. The conversation has come up quite a lot, and I have so many friends, you know, that have done the show and have been thrilled, and it's worked out incredible for them. I never say never. You know, the dynamic of my family has changed so much. There were plenty of times in my life where I wouldn't have exposed my 4 children, and I don't know that my ex would have been even open to that. But now that I get to make all my own decisions, like a bona fide grown-up, you never know. I know. Isn't that an amazing question?
If it was all up to me, what would I want?
I get to decide like everything now. I don't know.
See,
Be fun.
Lila with the good questions.
What's so interesting is, Lila, you're the married lady.
I am
Of this group.
With an amazing relationship,
Really amazing
by the way. Like, she, in my opinion, you have such a sexy, sensual, healthy relationship that we all long for, right?
pretty
Lucky
pretty
lady.
lucky.
But you two are on the market. Well, it looks like maybe you're a little off the market. What's going on?
God, that was fast. What's the question?
There's a man on your Instagram. Who
Yes.
is he? What's the deal?
Well, his name's Scott, and what do you want to know?
Just, I mean, how serious is it? And
It's pretty serious.
where's it going?
It's serious. I don't know where it's going, so I'm working to sort of partner up with uncertainty and just enjoy what is right now.
I like that phrase, partner up with uncertainty.
Yeah, that's a challenge. I've worked really hard to get to that space. But he's amazing and loving and kind and sexy and sweet and fun, and I'm really, really happy right now, and we're enjoying each other's company, and it's growing, and it feels right. And I think like the right kind of love just feels easy. It's easy. And
Just
beautiful.
clone him.
Yeah, right? We're looking for someone like that.
Yeah, what are you ready to get back out there yet? Are you even thinking about that?
I'm focusing on my kids, but like if an opportunity were to like smack me in the face, like I'm not gonna just say no, right? But I don't know, we'll see.
What's
one
on-
day at a time.
One day at a time, okay.
Yeah,
Maybe what are the 3 top things that are kind of the check mark for the slap in the face? Like, if those
if
3 boxes were checked, you make the move.
Like fireworks at sunset on the beach, like that would do it for me. Like that would be it. Yeah. Sign like with a plane with a sign, that would do
like
it.
a physical sign. That's right.
Right. It wouldn't have to actually like
It's not
smack
like,
me in the face.
Right, but it's not like,
Might not
has
notice
a
that.
job.
Otherwise, I wouldn't know.
It's
If it-
true.
yeah.
I was meaning more like, has a job.
Oh right. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a good start. Thank you. I'm gonna add that to the list.
There you go, okay. A plane with a sign and then check if he has a job, and then we'll go on a first date.
Yes.
We are about to record intimate knowledge.
You said in that very first episode that nothing is off limits. Is that really the case? There's nowhere you're not willing to go on this thing?
Well, definitely for me.
Yeah.
Whatever you
You
wanna
know,
talk about.
it's there's a fine line. I mean, I'm committed to this open dialogue and a very honest and transparent conversation. But I also have 4 children, and I'm raising 3 daughters, and I like to respect the intimacy of my relationship. Some things have to remain sacred. So there's an element of respect and honesty, but we're sharing our experiences for the right reasons. We're figuring it out. We're figuring it out, right?
Do you think there's something we shouldn't share?
No, I'm listening to these and going like, they're conversations that I did not expect to hear sitting at my desk at work. So I'm like, okay, keep it coming. This is interesting.
What's sexting? Good question, Megan. I guess we don't know either.
So what are you most excited for what's upcoming and for the fans and new listeners to get into with you guys?
I'm ready to do some deep dives. We did some glossing over of topics, and we cast a wide net about what we're going to be doing, but doing some deep dives into the...
As an intimacy expert, what's the topic you're most excited to dive into?
What I'm most interested in is connecting women with their deepest desires. So the more that we can have this dialogue and help women connect to that, that's what I want to, that's the juice.
Are you going to be okay with that?
I'm gonna be okay. I'm literally listening to Lila, and I'm like, this is gonna be so good for me. I can't wait.
This is so therapeutic.
Yes.
Sure.
We're all each other's therapists,
For
but
sure.
really, like, Lila's totally my therapist. Brooke's totally my therapist. So I just listen. I'm there to learn and absorb. So this is great for me. It's therapy.
It's a learning opportunity for everyone. It truly is. And even tacking on to that, it's about loving yourself and really tapping into that, and not necessarily about falling in love, but falling in love with yourself as well, and discovering all of the amazing things that we all possess, and sort of celebrating that, right?
Well, I think there's no better message to leave it on, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.